Please close your eyes. Now imagine your life. If you couldn't see, imagine if you were blind. What would you do differently? And what would you do differently with your friends and family?
Well, that is my life. And I have been since I was 4 years old. I literally went to bed one night being able to see, and the next morning I woke up and I was blind. Growing up, being blind is as normal for me as being able to see is for you. Going into adulthood and looking for a job, it was really hard. I was always told, you can't, you can't, you can't. I moved to Hawaii 8 years ago, and I filled out applications, and I went on job interviews, and most of the time, the people would not either return my call, or if they did, it was always, sorry, that position's been filled. Everything changed for me when I met Jennifer.
Well, actually, I feel like everything changed for me when I met Vicki. Now, I'm in the business of helping folks with employment challenges find jobs. So when Vicki walked into my office, I was pretty excited. She was motivated, she had amazing skills, and she was very marketable. We had a pilot program that we just started in electronic document scanning. So I invited Vicki to please help me brainstorm. How could we create jobs for blind people, more jobs for people like her?
I went into her office with the anticipation of learning how to document scan. But before I had to learn to do that, I had to learn how to prepare the documents. And I learned that job pretty good. I became pretty proficient at that job, actually. But listening to my coworkers and conversations that was going on around me, I realized rather quickly that document scanning was not going to happen for me because it was too visual.
Well, that's not exactly true. Vicki, if you remember, you were pretty determined. You said in your heart, you really felt like electronic document scanning could be available to anybody who was blind, not just for those who could see. And you really challenged me. You actually threw down the challenge and you said, you need to find out the answer for this. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So I went into her office the second time, and she's like, okay, here's the setup. Here's the scanner, here's the keyboard, here's the mouse, here's the monitor, go at it. And I looked at her, and I said, that's not gonna work. Blind people and the computer mouse don't fly. We don't connect.
Okay, you didn't have to be that obvious. Seriously, I knew that you were blind, but I tried to imagine myself, what would I do differently if I was blind? What would I do to solve this problem? So I tried to figure it out. I said, why don't you listen to my voice? How about that, if I guide you?
Well, after so much of right, left, click, right there, stop. Okay? After so much of that, I started talking to my blind friends in the community, and I told them that I was trying to learn how to document scan, and that I had this sighted assistant sitting beside me telling me which way to move this mouse, when, where, how. And they're like, the mouse? Vicki, no. Well, they suggested a screen reader. So I went to Jennifer and I said, what would you think of the idea of a screen reader?
So here's where I have to admit to you. How did I feel? I felt embarrassed. And I felt like I failed you. I felt like as a CEO, I'm supposed to have all the answers, right? I'm supposed to make those decisions. I'm supposed to do everything correctly, and I didn't. I was ready to hide and give up. It was hard. It was frustrating.
With the screen reader and the keyboard shortcuts, I am now today 95% mouse free. I am a changed person because of Jennifer. Before I went into network enterprises, I had no hope, I had no confidence, and I was just really discouraged. But she changed all of that because now I have hope, and I have confidence, and I am now encouraged.
Well, so I feel like I've been a changed person because of Vicki. She's the one that has changed me and changed our paradigm and changed everything that we've done in finding jobs, in creating jobs, in making the workplace more accessible for blind people. And it wasn't because of some super awesome scientific formula that we figured out. It was because I had to open my eyes and see that I didn't have to have all the answers by myself. I didn't have to do everything correctly by myself. The person right here next to me was the one who was helping me all along.
If you ever think that you have challenges and think that there might be a time where you can't do something, I just ask that you would close your eyes and reflect back on this talk and know that you can.
You can.
You can.
You definitely can.
Thank you.
Now, do you still have your eyes closed like we asked you to? Because if you do, you can open them now.